Welcome to the Road to Las Vegas. I'm Ted Robinson, and we're pleased to be back with you right here on WCCSports.com. The basketball season is underway. The journey has begun for the conference's men's and women's teams, and we'll be here each week to chronicle that journey as all teams strive for their place in Las Vegas, once again home for the 2012 Zappos.com WCC Basketball Championships. It's a new year. It's a new league with the addition of a wonderful school in BYU. And each week we will be here to bring you the full story of WCC basketball. Highlights, interviews, you'll get to meet coaches and student athletes, and we'll probably have a bit of fun along the way as well. Let's start this week with a look around the WCC. The West Coast Conference Player of the Week in men's basketball is BYU junior forward Brandon Davies. 3 games last week, Davies averaged 21 points and 14 rebounds with a pair of double-doubles. In the conference opener at St. Mary's, Davies scored a career-high 28 points. 2 days later, against San Diego, Davies scored 21 and pulled down 22 rebounds. On the women's side, the Player of the Week is San Diego senior forward Morgan Woodrow. Woodrow shot 52% from the field and drained 9 three-pointers as the Toreros downed Cal State Bakersfield and hung tough against 13th-ranked Texas Tech. Also back this week is the popular WCC Live talk show. A new episode airs live each Wednesday night leading up to the tournament in Las Vegas. Here are the guests on this week's show. And remember, you can listen to WCC Live each Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on Blog Talk Radio, or download the podcast to listen on demand anytime. Before the season, the WCC continued its groundbreaking moves with its first ever basketball tip-off event at YouTube headquarters. There, Sean Farnham had a chance to conduct some roundtable discussions with the conference's coaches. So let's eavesdrop in here as Sean talks about what it takes to build a program with new Pepperdine coach Marty Wilson, Eric Reveno of Portland, and USF's Rex Walters.
All right, joined now by 3 more outstanding coaches here in the WCC. Marty Wilson in his first season at Pepperdine, Rex Walters, an emerging program at USF, and the statesman now here in the WCC, Coach Reveno. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, building a program, and we are in different stages of building a program. We'll start with you, Marty. You're in your first season as a head coach. You've been obviously waiting for this moment for a long time. In building the identity of Pepperdine, what are some of the things that you're looking to establish?
Well, first of all, we're trying to change the culture in every way, on and off the floor. Something else we're trying to do is just bring back the past, the former players, so our guys understand what the tradition was about, so they understand our passion about building the program. So we're at the early stages, but I feel pretty good about where it's headed.
All right, so you're in the early stages. You had 2 players last year that were outstanding in this conference. They're gone. And now you've got to fill in the pieces with young recruits. So when you've been a team that's won consistently 20-plus games a year, and now you lose a couple of guys that were key components, how do you try to integrate in those freshmen but not overwhelming them too early?
Yeah, we got to adjust to them, I think. We're constantly evaluating how we do things and trying to do it better. We don't try to be rigid. We try to have a certain values and a certain way of doing things, but it comes back to what Coach was saying about your culture and how you do things. That's more embedded now than it was a few years ago, and so we feel like we can adjust some things without losing that identity.
And the identity of San Francisco basketball last year was kind of a surprise to the conference overall with the overall success that you had, but now you return everybody primarily, and the expectation level then goes up. So when you're a young coach and your team is now on the verge of taking that next step, what are some of the things that you're stressing with your group this year to help handle the expectations?
We looked at all the things that got us beat, and turnovers were a big thing for us. Transition defense was a big thing for us. This year with 5 starters coming back, you do lose Mustafa Diar, who's a heck of a player for us. We do lose Marko Petrovic, who was a good player for us. But our guys understand the culture, and also now we have some senior leadership. We have some 2nd and 3rd year players that can help coach it as well. And then the biggest thing is knock on wood, stay healthy.
How often do you find yourself maybe going back on something that a coach said to you in your careers and you go, I would never say that to a team ever. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, wait, did I just say that in the locker room right before the game?
As a parent, I find myself saying the things my mom and dad told me. And as a coach, I find myself saying things to Coach Williams, Coach Riley, Coach Van Gundy, Coach Daly, that I hated hearing, but it had to be said and it had to be accepted as a player. So yes, I draw upon those guys an awful lot in everything that we do.
I find myself too echoing what Coach Herrick used to say. I'm a parent.
You don't really go, all is fine at the Don, fellas. Do you? I mean, are you channeling that, Jim Herrick?
Not very often.
You have an accent too.
Did you work that out?
When we're joking about Coach, we'll throw it out every once in a while. But I find myself all the time echoing some of the things that he said when I played for him at Pepperdine, and it's amazing. I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way of how valuable it is now when you're saying it. And actually, we were listening. It was important to us then, but it's even more important that we share it and our guys understand it and understand the value of it.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate your time. Best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you.
When LMU guard Alex Cowling suffered a foot injury just 6 games into last season, the Lions' year took a dramatically different course. Cowling has worked hard to recover and has come on strong to start this year. She leads the conference and ranks 13th nationally, averaging well over 20 points a game. Let's take a moment now to get to know Alex Cowling.
Hi, I'm Emily Van Jumbo, and this is Alex Cowling, and we're going to get to know her. How did you end up here at LMU?
Well, you know, I'm from the Bay Area, Northern California, and my aunt actually went to school here. My mom's twin sister. She was a great player here on the first women's basketball team ever, and I wanted to follow and kind of continue her legacy.
If you could be one superhero, what would it be? Who would it be?
Alex the Great.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, you don't know about her?
No.
She has the powers. Anything she thinks of in the moment is what she has. All of a sudden she wants to fly, boom, she can fly.
Okay.
If she wants to be invisible, can't see her. If she wants to have laser vision, she probably wouldn't want that though, it's dangerous. She would get it immediately. Alex the Great.
What are your plans after playing here at LMU?
In the end, I plan on probably working for a nonprofit, doing something to help the world. You know, Alex the Great, I want to save the world.
You just came off of an injury about a year ago, is that correct?
Yeah, I didn't play last year. I played 6 games.
Right, okay. How do you feel about coming off of that injury? How are things going for you?
Well, you know, it's amazing to be back. I was nervous coming off right away. It's funny because after I was on crutches for 4 months, and right after I got off crutches, it's a learning process. You know, you go from essentially being a coach, you know, on the sideline telling everyone what to do, to going back in the game, and I feel lucky in that way that I have now 2 years to play it, having that experience of just watching and helping people in that way, and then getting on the court and knowing what I'm supposed to do exactly,
right,
and now being able to do it physically.
We're going to be playing at the WCC tournament in Vegas.
We are.
What should I expect as a freshman? What's going to be involved with that?
Well, it's a completely different environment. I mean, the season can be broken up really into 3 parts. Once postseason starts, it's really intense because we're trying to make it to the NCAA tournament. Everyone is. Postseason is when it really counts because if you lose, it's over. You see people in the hotel repping their teams and everything, and exciting because a little bit of banter in the elevators on the halls, but it's a great time. You'll have a lot of fun.
Alex, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Tune in to us next time.
Go Lions!
Thanks, ladies. It is great to see the former WCC Newcomer of the Year back on a strong track. Now it's time to turn our sights back to the road to Las Vegas and look at what's on tap this week in Week 2 of conference play. Conference play resumes Thursday night with 4 men's games. St. Mary's and Gonzaga made it through the opening weekend unscathed in conference play, and they'll look to keep rolling. Meanwhile, Santa Clara opens its conference schedule with a trip through the Pacific Northwest. On the women's side, San Diego takes to the court for the first time in conference play with a pair of Bay Area road games Saturday and Monday. Well, that does it for the first episode of the Road to Las Vegas. We're glad you've joined us, and please make sure this is your spot to follow the WCC all through the basketball season with new episodes of the Road to Las Vegas each Wednesday, right here on your home for all things WCC, WCCSports.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ted Robinson.